Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Leadership Insights by the Entrepreneur. And today we are here with yet another leader in the education sector in Sri Lanka. He is none other than Bradley Emerson, Executive Director, CEO of Imperial Institute of Higher Education. A very big hello to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining with Entrepreneur.lk for this program. So to get started with, I would like to ask you the question. Let's talk about your journey in the education sector. I'm sure it has been an interesting one.
Oh, well, it actually an accident because I was a bank all my life. And I just bumped into this famous headhunter at one of the hotels, and then he said, "You have been in banking all your life, why didn't you try education?" And at that time, CIMA was looking for a country head. And I said, CIMA was not big enough. At that time, I was the deputy CEO of a bank. And they said, these two ladies from UK are here, they have interviewed about 20 people, why don't you just have a chat? So I had a chat, and I was given 48 hours. I thought they were impressed. About 48 hours to present my plan for CIMA. And they flew down the CEO, Charles Tilley, to interview me. And we had a conversation. And then I got into education in 2007. I joined as head of Sri Lanka, and then within the first 6 months I was made the regional head. So I looked after countries from Nepal to Kathmandu to Cairo.
Okay.
The huge region, half the world, and we expanded CIMA. That gave me the opportunity to travel around all these countries and look at universities, aspirations of children, pretty much the same. So that was the call, and I thought working in education is creating the future for the kids. And looking back, that has been the best part of my life, coming into education.
Like I said, it's definitely an interesting journey shifting from the banking sector to education sector. You have been in the education sector for so long. As a person who have been there for so long in the education sector, what do you think about the current status of education in Sri Lanka?
I mean, this is something that has been debated many times. Lots of voices have been raised, concerns have been raised about education. In today's context, what is education? What do you want to educate them on? We are still teaching our children the way our parents were taught. When the knowledge is abundantly available at fingertips. When you say education, we still have this, going to school, listening to somebody, taking down notes, memorize it and reproduce. Is that education? I don't think so. There was a time, decades ago, education was filling the minds of the people. And today, when the world is changing, when the knowledge is getting novel every day, when you fill the minds of people with knowledge, when that knowledge becomes obsolete, the people become obsolete.
Definitely.
That is where we are right now. So then what is education? To me, education must shape the minds of the people, not fill them. So when I say shape, you shape them so that they can be agile. You shape them that they can be imaginative. You shape them that they can draw information and translate it to today, like cognitive skills. So education is no longer about producing people's skill and fitness, but rather making them relevant to what is happening to the future. So the biggest challenge education has today is to prepare people for jobs that are still not there. That's where education should be. Education needs to go to the future, look back, and then prepare the students. I don't think if you take us or most of the countries are there yet. So that's the scary place to be, because we are going to have people who are qualified, graduated, and irrelevant to business. That's a very dangerous place to be. Lots have to be done. Lots have to be done now.
Along with that topic, I would also like to ask, now we say it's all about shaping the minds of the people, education is all about that, but unprecedented times calls for unprecedented changes, for example, COVID-19, the global pandemic. Due to this situation, all sectors, all industries in the world took a whole new U-turn. Now, when it comes to the education sector as well, the new norm is e-learning, virtual learning. What is your thought about the virtual learning aspect, and is it really effective?
It was coming, Ashi. COVID only accelerated it.
I'm sure.
Right. I think it has given us an opportunity, if you take our perspective, to reach out to more people and to bring faculty from overseas. So we have used this. Actually, our IHE's shift towards virtual learning came after the Easter bombing. When we had students from Negamba who couldn't come, we went online. So when this happened, we had the platform radio. We were able to seamlessly move in. So you're asking, how has that impacted education? It has a plus and minus. Particularly in the postgraduate area, you need people to interact, because there is a lot of cross-fertilization that happens. So, but that is, to some extent, has come down. But the skill set of the lecturer, talking to a computer for 3 hours, has to change. Keeping your own motivation and energy level high
I'm sure.
is a challenge. But I think our guys have adapted to it very well. And it has brought in a brand. See, every crisis brings fear and also future.
Well said.
Every crisis brings a catalyst. So I think e-learning as a system is a catalyst, not just only for education. But we were not ready. We were not ready. So that is why I said, if you are agile, then you adapt. If you are fixed, then you struggle. So e-learning has brought us students from overseas, international students, which is good for Sri Lanka. So we can actually export education because we have the virtual platform.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So along with that, now I would like to talk about IIHE. What is IIHE and what are the qualifications and opportunities that are available here at IIHE?
Okay, IIHE dates back to 1996, which means next year we celebrate 25 years.
Right.
Or this
year.
This year we celebrate 25 years. It has been predominantly known as a MBA institute with Wales. It's synonymous with Wales. Once Wales merged with UWTSD, we did have undergraduate programs from Wales and from Salford, but by and large, IHE was known for its MBA, still known for its MBA. So that's what we have been promoting. But it's very interesting to see how the average age of the MBA student has come down to about 27.
All right. Okay.
Right, which is fantastic. So being in a tertiary education, providing an international degree to Sri Lankan young graduates, I think it's playing a very important role in upskilling our people to international standards, because the curriculum is from there. The moderation of papers, marking, answers are all from UK, and they maintain the same moderation level across 9 centers they have across the world, including Tokyo. So the students of here are actually benchmarked against the global talent. So the skill set, the product that comes out, I'm sure they themselves feel the transformation when they go through. So that's what IIT is all about. It's about enabling agility.
All right. So we all know this is a platform for entrepreneurship, and we all know entrepreneurship is the new driving force in the global modern economy. How does IIHE enables an aspiring entrepreneur or an existing entrepreneur to own and run a business successfully?
See, good question. Entrepreneurship has been a neglected wisdom in the economy, wisdom. Our MBA has a module on entrepreneurship, which is a welcome thing. And see, entrepreneurship is about imagination. Entrepreneurship is about transforming that imagination into an idea. and believing in that idea that it can be commercialized. That needs a lot of courage. So what we have to do, what entrepreneurship does, is to bring out the unique creativity of individuals. Without that, you as a human being is not living your potential. So we all have entrepreneurship. We are in a company, whether we are running our own. You don't have to be running a business to be an entrepreneur.
I'm sure, yes.
Right? It's about imagination. It's about creating that imagination into a story. It's about believing that this can be commercialized. It's about taking risk. It's about having faith in your own thoughts. That's what human beings should be. Otherwise, we all live somebody else's prescription, and we look back and ask, what was I doing in my life? So if you ask me why entrepreneurship is important, whether you run your business or not, Ashi, it is important to bring out your creativity, your potential. Your potential comes out from your imagination, and that's why entrepreneurship is important. Whether you are running your business or whether you are working for somebody else. But there is a trend now. I found it in my previous workplace in SEMA as well. I met with parents, and parents would say, well, they don't want to work for anybody. They want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic thing. And if you look at some of the young entrepreneurs, the new startups that are coming up, young people who have walked out of jobs, top jobs, Google, Microsoft, and started their own thing. So that is a good sign, because people, to be an entrepreneur, you have to believe in yourself. That we lack as a society. So entrepreneurship brings that belief back into humans. So when you believe in yourself, your potential gets tapped, and where you can go is immense. I believe everyone is created equally. Everyone is given the opportunities also equally. But if you don't have that entrepreneurial mindset to grab something that passes by, don't blame anybody else.
I think I'm very well agreeing to what you're saying. I think earlier also you said it's all about creating the jobs that are not available, and it's all about bringing your creativity and the mindset, putting it all there.
Educating people for the jobs that are not yet
yes.
made available.
Made available.
It's a huge challenge. So that's your imagination.
Yeah, that's creativity and imagination that comes into action. So IIHE is a platform. Do you see it as a platform to create entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka?
See, our mission is to make people agile. If you look at our structure of assessment, is all about imagination. Tell your story. It's all assignments. People think assignments are easy way out than exams. There's a cardinal difference between an exam and assignment. Exams checks your memory. There are many times you have walked out of exam halls and remember the answer. It's very unfair to say you don't know the subject just because you didn't remember in that moment of time. But assignments gets you to apply your learning. Then we know whether you understood, because learning is only as good as its application. So what we want to do with what we do at IIHE is check that application of learning. So then you have to imagine. You have to argue with yourself. You have to rationalize what you're saying. That's what entrepreneurship is all about.
So along with that, I would also like to ask you, as the Executive Director and CEO of IIHE, what are your future plans
for education?
For education sector.
So we will go back to what I just said. We are pushing very hard at policy level and at the university level to bring that the learning outcome. What do you teach? What's the content? How do you assess? Need to change. And I think before going there, if there is anything we can do as a tertiary education institute to influence the secondary education, that it need to change. If you look at what has happened in Germany, in Finland, in Singapore, they have stopped exams up to grade 12. They are all given assignments, right? So Sri Lanka is missing out on that COVID opportunity where we could have got our children to do assignments, and they would have loved it. So we have lost that out because all are learning online. There is no way of doing that traditional examination. So we will try to expand or drive the way things are taught and influence the thought, the policymakers to relook at education. I think every civilization has an obligation to make the next civilization better. Education is one, probably the only tool which can do that. And if you don't do that, I think we're failing by our future.
Well said. So on a final note, as a prominent leader in the education sector, what have you got to say to the aspiring or the existing entrepreneurs out there in Sri Lanka?
Existing entrepreneurs out there, I want to congratulate you because you took the risk, because you believed in yourself. But the drive, the journey in entrepreneurship will be very challenging because there will be always moments, I'm sure you experience this, that you ask yourself, why did I do this? You have that fear factor comes in. But it should go beyond, not just the entrepreneurs, Ashi. My message to every human being, to bring up that entrepreneurial skills. I mean, look at our mothers. You don't have to look anywhere else. How they manage their resources, how they manage their time, how they prioritize, how they manage their finances. Come on.
Yeah.
They got all what it takes to be an entrepreneur. They are entrepreneurs. So my message to young people, not specifically to entrepreneurs, if you are to live your potential, then you must encourage and have the audacity to try out your imaginations. If you don't dare to speak out and bring out what's in your mind, you are not living your potential. It's a waste. I have spoken to kids across this continent, from Kathmandu to Egypt, and sometimes I feel bad about our graduates. Because our graduates are job oriented. When they pass out with a certificate, they force the government to give jobs. It is not the job of the government to give jobs. They are given you the education, you need to be able to think. So if you don't create people to think as an individual, you are living a lie to your own self. You live a prescription, not an inspiration. You need to look at what you can do. Tremendous amount of stuff. I have come across young people who are doing amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. You know, there was a student of ours who presented a project on tamarind candy, and she said, I want to make tamarind candy. And today she's exporting that. Just dried tamarind, blended with a bit of sweetener and pepper and salt. Just dried tamarind. And she's doing well. There's another lady, she has gone into those good old days, you have those woven bags that our grandmothers used to carry to market.
Yeah.
She's bringing that back. That's a mission. So again, that was an entrepreneurship assignment. So they get involved and they get so passionate about it, and they start doing it. So this is what, as an education institute, we must inspire people to bring out their belief, because they are not interested in money. Money follows. For an entrepreneur, his joy is to see his idea working.
Yeah.
Money is a byproduct for them. So that's my message, guys. I mean, if you have an idea, just do it. Just go out and do it. That's why you are here on earth.
Thank you so much, Bradley. That was indeed a valuable and an insightful conversation that we had with you today. Thank you so much for joining with Entrepreneur LK to promote this leadership insights and to give the insights out there to the people who are watching us right now. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. I think what you're doing is amazing. getting people. The topic itself is your title of a magazine itself is what we need in this country. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Looking
much.
forward to work with you.
Thank you.
So with that, we are ending today's episode. We were in discussion with Mr. Bradley Emerson, Executive Director and CEO of IIHA. So hope you had a lot to learn. I personally had a lot to learn from him today. We shall see you from another episode soon.